Hiya, I'm Amy from Simply Needlecraft, and today's tutorial is to show you how to bind a quilt. This is a half square triangle quilt that I put together using the So Easy Jelly Monster template. For instructions how to do this, if you look back at the video I posted before this, you'll see how it's done. So binding a quilt, on my first quilting video I showed you the easiest way, where you put the backing fabric on top and sew around it and pull it through. Next I'm going to show you how to bind it. There's one way where you can machine it one side and hand sew it on the other, which is the one I'm going to show you today, and then a couple of weeks time I'm going to show you the technique where you can machine it all. So for this, if I show you quickly as well on this, so this is quilted. Again, in my first video we only quilted through the wadding and your patchwork on the top. This quilt has got a backing on, so when I did this I laid the backing out, then the wadding and then the top piece, and then so this is quilted through 3 layers. For the binding I'm using 2.5-inch strips. This is out of a jelly roll, but you can cut your own 2.5-inch strips and hold it out, and they are ironed in half lengthways, so your right side of your fabric is on the outside. So we need to join these strips first of all. You could join them so that they're like that, or you could join them with a bias join, which looks a little bit better. And it's quite easy to do. So you're going to take your first roll like that and place it face up to you. Kirsty's laughing in the background, I know what she's laughing at. You're going to take your second strip and place it on top like that. So you're making a cross. I don't cut the soldiers off because I'm just going to overhang them a little bit. And you're going to go over to your machine and you're going to sew a diagonal line from that corner down to there. Right, sorry. You can then cut this off. It's like 1/4 inch. You don't have to use pinking shears, it's just the only scissors I can find up here at the moment. Right, so that's your 2, so that's how it joins it, look, on the diagonal. Okay, so I need another strip added to this one, so I'm going to do exactly the same. So face down, and again this is the 3rd strip, that's like that with the soldiers overhanging, and we're going to sew diagonal. Right, so that's my fabric strips joined. Okay, so I'm just going to chop the selvage edge off this now because we don't need that bit. Right, so you can either, like I said, there's 2 ways to bind. One way is where you machine it onto the back and then you can fold it over to machine it on the front. Today I'm going to show you the reverse of this one, so we sew it on the front but with the machine and then hand sew it on the back. So it's alright doing it with a quilt this size. If you're doing a king size quilt, I recommend you use the technique that I'll show you in a couple of videos time. But what we need to do, the raw edge of your binding needs to go to the raw edge of your quilt, and always start in the middle of one side, don't start at a corner. Okay, so middle of one side, and I'm just going to leave about 1.5 inches free and take it over to the sewing machine. Okay, so we're just going to sew. So if you want to pin this you can, but I just kind of do it as I go along. Match the raw edges up to the raw edges of the quilt. I'm just going to stop a little way. So what I want you to do, about 1/4 inch away from a corner, so if I get to that, I want you to stop, put your needle down in your sewing machine, you're going to pick your foot up. Now, what we're going to actually try and do is, I don't know whether you can see it, Kirsty, you might have to come around this side. What we want to sew is diagonal line from where your needle's placed to the corner of your quilt to anchor it in the corner. So I'm going to do that. So that's anchored it into the corner of your quilt. You can then pick your quilt up, just move back. You don't need to cut your threads at this point. So this is how you turn a corner. We need that raw edge along that raw edge. So you're going to pick that up, you put your finger under it, and we're going to make it so it's nice and square there, and your raw edge carries on down this side. So then we're going to pop that back in your machine, and you're going to sew right from the edge. Again, I've stopped 1/4 inch, turned it round, and you're sewing off that corner. Pull it out again. So pop your finger under it, make it nice and square at that edge, and then it's in line at that edge. Corner, diagonal, to the edge. 3 corners down, 1 more to do. Alright, so we're getting back to that where we started now, so just do that one. Right, so when we get here, we're going to fold it, that bit like that. We're going to make a nice, again like a bias edge on that, and we're going to lie that over the top, and we need to sew down past there so that's catching it. That's over, just give it a little reverse, so we can take that out of the machine now, trim them threads off. Trim that. And then you can trim a bit off. Right, so right, I've got a hand needle. So that's it sewn onto the front. So then we're going to flip it round, flip it round to the back and bring the bias over to cover the edges. When you get to your corners, you're going to lay your corner out like that, and then you can fold that edge over like that. Okay, so this part does need hand sewing. I'll show you quickly how I do it, but there's no kind of right or wrong. You could do an overstitch. I prefer more of an invisible stitch so you can't actually see your binding. You can pin it at this point as well if it helps you. So we're going to go one stitch through the fold of the binding, and then we're going to go into the backing. We're not going to go through to the front though, we're just catching that top layer and pull back over to the binding and pull. So you're going to go round, all the way round. So this is a way where you don't really see your stitches, but if you feel more comfortable doing an overstitch, and that's fine. So if I can flip the quilt round, that's how it looks on the bit that I've sewn there. Yeah. So I'm going to carry on hand sewing this. Might take me a while. I'm hoping Kirsty jumps in and decides to do a bit of hand sewing for me. So have a look back at the other tutorials we've done on YouTube, and you can catch me over at simplyneedlecraft.com, simplysewingboxes.com, and on Facebook at simplyneedlecraft.